What's up, sports fans? What's up, world? You are now tuned into the world's greatest, MC Ron and his co-host.
Your guy, Zen on King.
And we are keeping it 10 toes down. We are the sports podcast that always keeps it real about sports talk. We are on episode 195 of this podcast. We are five episodes away. Yeah, I had to say it 5 times because shout out to Booker T, baby. But the 5 times, no, but we are 5 episodes away from episode 200. 200. Oh, 200 episodes of this podcast. Once again, we're trying to, hopefully we can make episode 200 by Super Bowl weekend. That's the plan. That's the plan. All right. That is the plan. All right. We are recording this podcast on Wednesday, December 17th. One day after APO Founders Day. Yeah, baby. Yeah, Centennial, baby. But 2025 at approximately 7:17 p.m. Whoo! Interesting things happened this past week in the NFL. A lot of interesting things happened. For me, the most interesting thing that happened was my MVP, the reigning league MVP. Whoa! Josh motherfreaking Allen was down 21-0 to the New England Patriots. But when everybody counted them out, including this guy a little bit, when everybody counted them out, my MVP, the real MVP, the reigning league MVP. And the reason why I keep on saying it is because I know my co-host here hates it, but he has to face reality. He came back, and Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills came back down 21-0 and beat the Patriots. Now, did they overtake them for the division lead? No. But they made things a lot more interesting. Listen, Josh Allen was not going to give up the AFC East without a fight. And he showed that fight this past Sunday. I'm sorry.
Hey, like I said, Drake May finna win the MVP anyway. So you only got to get it off your chest. You got 3 more weeks.
But does he actually deserve it? Because the thing is, Drake May has the better team. I'm not gonna lie, he does. But
does he?
Yes, the Patriots, in my opinion, are
so
better.
you're telling me?
Yes, I think
You're telling me you would take Trevion Henderson over James Cook?
Okay, outside of running back.
Yeah, they probably do have it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, outside of running back, I would, but they did not have the better quarterback. They did not.
This is also facts.
Huh?
I'll admit to that. That's also facts.
So
Josh Allen is better than Drake May.
So, by your admission, the real MVP this season is Josh Allen. Appreciate it.
No, because Lamar Jackson is better than Josh Allen. So by my estimation, Lamar should win it every year.
Okay, I'm done. But how did this game? Because me, I did watch this game and I really thought it was over after 21-0. I really did. I was like, oh crap! I was
gonna text you and be like, skunk.
Yeah,
Some told me not to do it, but I was like, wow, okay, 21-0. But I guess the Bills are kind of a second half team. I think this is not the first time this year that they've been down 21-0 in the first half and then came back storming. The next half, maybe not 21-0, but But yeah, I mean,
in the house that Tom Brady built too.
In the house that Brady built, how y'all gonna let that happen? I mean, you do have the more experienced quarterback versus Drake May, who is coming on. But even like I say, we're gonna get into this a little later. Even if Drake May Like, say they get the number 1 seed,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they get the bye. Okay, that's cool, but he still doesn't have playoff experience. As good as he is, who's to say he's gonna make that? He's gonna make a run to the Super Bowl and win it. But like I said, we'll get to that a little later. But yeah, this game definitely surprised me because I thought it was over with at halftime. I was like, oh well, go on, wrap it up. The Bills not gonna win the division anyway. So
I mean, there's still a chance, though. I do think the Patriots are going to still win that division. But like you said,
the Patriots
and Drake May winning MVP ain't set in stone yet because Matt Stafford still has something to say about that.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I would definitely vote Matt Stafford over Drake May, but that's just because of personal opinion. But the Bills, like, yeah, I mean, the Bills can still win it. They have to play. I mean, the Patriots still have to play. Excuse me, I got a burp and it's not coming out, y'all. The Patriots still have to play the Ravens, the Jets, and then the Dolphins. That seems outside of the Ravens, that seems pretty doable, right? The Jets and the Dolphins. The Bills have to play the Browns, the Eagles, and the Jets as well. So the Browns and the Jets sounds a little doable. The Browns are a tricky team though. Now, am I going to say they're going to beat the Bills? Absolutely not. But like we said, the Patriots have a better offense than a better team around them than the Bills do, and that's including the offensive line. And if I know anything about the Browns, their defensive line, well, to bump their defensive line, they got Myles Garrett. I mean, even Mason Graham is out there doing crazy, go blue. But yeah, they got Myles Garrett, and Myles Garrett is only a sack and a half away from the record. He got 3 games left. I think he can get at least 1 versus the Bills. But yeah, I mean that one. I wish that was more like my division, where this game would have been like the last game, and it would have last game of the season. It would have determined. But yeah, this was a wild game for real. A little snooze fest at the beginning, but I guess Josh Allen had to make it interesting. He couldn't go out bad like that.
Definitely. Speaking of snooze fest, though, what about this ass whooping that your Ravens laid upon Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals?
That right there is how the Baltimore Ravens need to play. Because I even think, Derrick Henry had 100 yards on like 9 carries. But even Keaton Mitchell had like 80-something yards on a few. Because at first, y'all know me, even though I didn't play on my fantasy. I didn't make it to the playoffs, even though it's my league season. I was still keeping up with stuff, and I'm like, dang, Keaton Mitchell at one point was getting all the carries. I'm like, man, what's up? But yeah, we played great. Lamar Jackson still threw an interception. I need that off the boards, my boy. But the defense, honestly, regardless of what the offense did, the defense is where I have my eye on, because you held the Bengals offense to 0 points.
Zero.
They have Jamar Chase and wide receiver 1 T. Higgins. Neither one of them got a touchdown. Like, that would be one thing if, like, that would be one thing. I don't even know how to equate that somewhere else. Like, that's one of the best offenses in the league. Yeah, okay, you can score 50 points on them, but that's their defense. Nobody's going to be surprised if you score 50 points on the Bengals. But you hold their offense to 0 points, I feel like that's notable, especially for the defense. And my favorite player of the game, of the defense, was when Kyle Van Noy picked the ball off.
Oh yeah, and then he
started running, and he was like, I'm old. Let me give it to the young guy. He took it off for the pick 6. I was like, yeah, I like that. And to me, that showed team chemistry. Because Kyle Van Noy could have just been, he could have been selfish. He could have just ran. He probably would have ran at like 35, 40 yards. It would have been like, yeah, woohoo. But it would have been no pick 6, which ultimately helps the team even more. So I like the wherewithal in the middle of the game. That was pretty big for me.
He's like, here you go, young fella. You take. Unc ain't got the wheels no more. You take it.
You got it. Now I will say though, Jamar Chase did do good. I'm not gonna say we shut the receivers down. They didn't score. Like, Jamar Chase still had 132 yards.
Hey, but
I think that man averages like 130. He probably averages like 132 yards on us.
But
in
it
his
was
career.
sorry. It was empty calorie stats though. It didn't mean he had all those yards, but did they mean anything? Were they impactful? They weren't because it was 26-0. So yeah, he can have all the yards he wants to, but if it doesn't mean points on the scoreboard, it doesn't. They mean nothing at the end of the day. That's why you all.
And it's crazy. And it's crazy because the Bengals had time of possession. They had 39 minutes to our 20.
Then how in the world? Never mind. Which also brings me to a question about Joe Burrow, because there are rumors that maybe sort of kind of he's either like hinting towards retirement or leaving the Bengals. And
before he played the Ravens, he did say he is not having fun playing football. He doesn't know how he's going to keep playing if he's not having fun. This was the worst time to say that, because I know you're not having fun after that. That skunk fest we just put on y'all at y'all house.
Yeah.
In the house that Carson
Palmer
Carson Palmer built in Ocho Cinco. I seen Ocho crying on the sidelines.
And TJ Huzmanzada, he also helped build that.
All of them. I know it's reminiscent of y'all playing days.
But like, and but like you mentioned Joe Burrow, and we mentioned Carson Palmer, and like I heard that these were some of the same sentiments that Carson Palmer was making. Remember, before he left the Bengals, and so
So peep the similarities between Carson Palmer and Joe Burrow. I don't know if people know this, but Carson Palmer was a very good quarterback. I mean, I'm talking very good. What was his problem? He kept getting injured. Why did he keep getting injured? It wasn't because he was injury prone or nothing like that. It was the Bengals, dude. Like they had a terrible team. You think they got a terrible team now? It's about the same. It's about the same thing, just in 2025.
It's crazy because, like, think about it. They had Carson Palmer, then they had two solid receivers in Ocho Cinco and TJ Huzmanzada.
And you did not want to play them.
Yeah, and fast forward, now you have Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And your quarterback keeps on getting hurt now.
Yep.
So it's really crazy. It's really, like, I hope for Bengals fans' sake that Joe Burrow, that Joe Burrow stays a Bengal. However, the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall. We've seen the same thing with Carson Palmer, and now we may be seeing the same things with Joe Burrow. And that just speaks to how bad the organization of the Cincinnati Bengals are. Like, you get two quarterbacks. You've had two generationally talented quarterbacks. I believe that Carson Palmer was a generationally talented quarterback. All right, it's just, once again, he got drafted by the Bengals. Now you have Joe Burrow, who's even, I think, more generationally talented than Carson Palmer was, and
absolutely.
Now it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're ruining him. And
I have a package for you.
What?
I have a scenario for you.
Yep.
We talking about quarterbacks. We talking about Matt Stafford. We're talking about Joe Burrow. We also talked about Matt Stafford a little bit. Mm-hmm. Matt Stafford. You said Matt Stafford might win the MVP. The Rams are looking like one of the best teams in the league.
Yep.
Who's to say the Rams don't win the Super Bowl? What if the Rams win the Super Bowl, Matt Stafford retires, and the Rams trade
for Joe Burrow?
Because they got a top 10 pick that's not theirs.
This, and you continue to win. You know what? That just might be crazy enough to work.
Hey, I would hate to see, honestly, as a Ravens fan, I would hate to see Joe Burrow leave the Bengals, but if he went to the Rams, I wouldn't be mad. I don't know if he can keep his number 9, because I think Staff got that one, but
no, if Stafford retires, then Joe Burrow will just be the new number 9 because they're not going to retire number 9
But
for Matt
nah,
Stafford.
why not? He would have won them 2 Super Bowls in less than 10 years.
Yeah, but whenever I think of Matt Stafford, I think
Less
of the
than 5
Lions.
years, really. What'd you say? Yeah, the Lions.
Yeah, I think of the Lions. And honestly, they should have retired his number 9 for Matt. Because
The moment he left, the moment they traded him, they should have retired that.
Yeah, like, are you serious? Because I think when he left, I think Jameson Williams used to have that number 9, and I'm like, bro, there's only one number 9 in Detroit, and that's Matt Stafford. Y'all ain't gonna disrespect this man's legacy for the Lions for like that. The decade. Oh no, the decade plus he played for y'all, and y'all just did nothing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Okay, but it's just overall, I just hope that Joe Burrow, honestly, I just hope for him that he just gets into a situation whether either the Bengals rectify theirs or he gets traded to another one, where he can be happy playing football, when we can continue seeing him play football, because it would be just tragic if he just retires at the end of the season. It'd just be like bro, why? But talking about
No, go ahead.
I was talking about retirements. Let's talk about some unretirements. All right, we mentioned on this podcast last week that Phillip Rivers is back, baby. Phillip Rivers is back, and he played his first game with the Colts. And, bro, I was pulling for them to win this game, bro. So bad.
So hard.
Bro.
And they almost did.
I was, I know.
They almost did.
Man, and then he had to throw a damn pick. I'm like, no, Phillip! You had 20 seconds. I think you had 18 seconds and 3 timeouts. But still, you had time enough to do 3 good throws and get into field goal range to win the game, especially when your kicker already hit a 60-yarder.
But I feel like this was a pretty all right performance to me from Phillip, from Granddaddy Phillip, because he doesn't have grandkids. He ain't played since COVID. So for him to come back now, I will say the blunder of the game is not the pick. It is the fact that he took that drop back and his knee buckled, and he had to get up and run because the play was dead. I was like, okay, yeah, you're a little too old, buddy, but
you ain't got the
yeah.
You lazy.
I can see Phillip Rivers playing better next week. Let's see who they play next week. They play who? Well, we'll get to that later, but okay, yeah. But good job for Phillip this game. He almost won, and he did. But now, does this reinstate him for first ballot Hall of Fame? Can he do it now? Because technically it restarts. This was his last year. Now he about to play 3 more games.
I mean, if he miraculously leads the Colts to a championship, coming off his goddamn couch at the age of 44,
rocking his grandbabies to sleep.
I know. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. All right.
You know what though? That would start a chain reaction, because then Tom Brady got to come back and upstage him.
No, that would be too crazy. Now, I understand Cam Newton's still mad about it. Listen, dude, the reason honestly, Cam Newton, when you retired, your shoulder was shot. I understand he's staying in shape and all that, but listen, man, dude, your shoulder was shot.
Shoulder. Yeah.
I saw you throw in New England, bro.
Feel like he was.
Exactly, bro. I saw you.
And then for him to go to New England, it's a cold spot. You just had shoulder surgery. That don't work. That don't make sense. But anyway, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I watched you after that surgery, after that hit by T.J. Watt in that game. Which
ironically now T.J. Watt's career is riddled with injuries.
And after that, and then you tried to come back, and I just saw that shoulder, it just deteriorated, just game after game. I'm like, yeah, bro, you can't throw the football no more, bro. You cannot. And no matter how much you worked out, like that shoulder was gone, bro. You may look strong enough. Nah, bro, it's over, Cam. But anyway, speaking about Phillip Rivers, though, this is about Phillip Rivers. It was great to see him back. Honestly, like, it took me back to my, high school days, my younger days, watching Phillip Rivers. It took it all back. It took me back to those days. I almost wished I could close my eyes and it was like 2011 again. Like that's what I wish. I wish I saw Peyton Manning once again. I wish I saw I meant to say 2010. But either way, I thought, Peyton Manning, then Drew Brees, and then a young Aaron Rodgers with the Packers. Like it just all those memories started just coming back to me, right? Watching Phillip Rivers play. And then he slid.
I was like, man, that's a highlight he would like to have back.
And then that's when reality's like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
He's 43.
He is 40.
Oops, I forgot.
Yeah, he is old, and the legs aren't as spry, and his legs were never spry even in his prime. So
I think,
yeah.
I personally just think they put him in the weight room a little too heavy, and while he was playing in the game, it's just he just had a little leg fatigue. That's all it was.
Yeah. But hopefully, I'm still rooting for Phillip. I'm still rooting for the Colts. Like, if there's a team I'm rooting for to make the playoffs, it's them. All right, because I want to see Phillip Rivers do it. Listen, since he's in the league, he's got a chance. Get them to the playoffs, man.
This would be the best year to do it since everything up and down.
Exactly, and there's no Patrick Mahomes, so this is the year, Phillip.
You know what? The Colts play in what conference? The AFC.
Yeah.
The Ravens could use some more lunch. Go ahead and put Phillip Rivers in the playoffs right quick. Let's play him first round.
No, I need Phillip Rivers in the Super Bowl. I need it.
Shut up.
I need
They're
it.
not going to the Super Bowl.
Listen, I understand that, man. Listen. I can dream. As a person who's rooted for Phillip Rivers, I need to see it, man. I need to see it. But best of luck to you, Phillip. All right, best of luck to you. Speaking of no Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs have officially been eliminated from playoff contention by Phillip Rivers' former team, the team that drafted him, the Los Angeles. Though he was drafted by San Diego. Well, no, actually, he was not drafted by San Diego. He actually was drafted by the Giants, and they trade. But anyway, his original team, the Los Angeles Chargers. KJ, how do you feel about the ding dong, the witch is dead? The evil boogeyman is not going to be in the playoffs. How do you feel?
Well, okay. So, first and foremost, y'all know me. Never, ever, ever go against Jim Harbaugh, because you won't live. You won't play to see the next week. So shout out to the Chiefs. Shout out to the Chargers. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh. Shout out to Justin Herbert. Because this is the first time the Chiefs ain't been in the playoffs since Patrick Mahomes was there.
Honestly, even when they had Alex Smith, they still made it to the playoffs.
They was in the play. I think the last time they were not in the playoffs was 2014, or 20, something like that, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So Patrick, so walk with me down this little journey, I'll call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes has a good organization. He has a good head coach.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best head coaches in NFL history, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Chiefs will not make the playoffs this year. They may also not want to win another game if they see fit, right? So
Yeah,
say they get a decent draft picks. Let's say top 14, like with like 14, 13,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Next season is obviously a wash. Patrick Mahomes should not play in 2026, right?
Yep.
This sounds
depending
like
on how, I about to
how
say,
severe the
depending on how,
injury is. I mean,
yeah.
if I don't know if you've seen it, it looked crazy to me. Anyways, this sounds like the perfect recipe for them to retool and revamp and just start it all over again and redo the dynasty. Because ain't this the same thing that happened with Tom Brady
Yep.
after he won 3 Super Bowls? He tore his ACL
Yep.
late in the season. Or I think he tore his ACL early in the season.
Yeah, first game.
Yeah. So they didn't have like an extra year to like retool their team. But guess what? Patrick Mahomes does. And guess what? Patrick Mahomes needs a brand new offense. It's the perfect time to get him a brand new offense. Some pieces on defense. Chris Jones is gonna be a little old. But we talking about Ding Dong, the witch is dead. Nah, she just sleep. She finna get up and start singing again. But that's just me being, having a forethought. Currently, I'm jumping for joy. I'm doing backflips. Not because Patrick Mahomes is hurt. I don't want to see Patrick Mahomes get hurt. But because the Chiefs are not in the playoffs. If Patrick Mahomes would have stayed healthy and they still weren't in the playoffs, I would have did probably a higher jump. Higher backflip. But yeah, I mean, I think this is bittersweet for the NFL because it's like, dang, Patrick Mahomes not in there. It's kind of weird. But at the same time, now that just gives even more leeway for somebody new to win. We're not going to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. When the last time we said that? I mean, a couple years ago, but still, they usually in the Super Bowl the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? They were just talking about a three-peat. You did? So.
Well, remember, I said before this season that the Chiefs were not going to make it to the AFC Championship game. However, I was expecting them to make the playoffs when saying this prediction, but I said my bold prediction is I was like, this team right now, as what I saw, that I said this team does not look like one that's going to make it to the AFC Championship game. I still believe even if Patrick Mahomes did not get hurt in that game, they were going to lose that game regardless. Because people think, if Patrick Mahomes didn't get they were going to lose that game regardless. It just, Patrick Mahomes getting hurt just kind of hit the nail on the head, or put that final nail in the coffin, but it was over, okay? Just that, once again. So, yeah, the Chiefs were going to lose that game regardless. It's just, we just didn't see the Patrick Mahomes getting hurt. But you said this creates somebody new winning. And now, because I've heard a lot of people saying that now that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are not in the playoffs, if Lamar Jackson, or really specifically Josh Allen, because a lot of people see them possibly making the playoffs and, the Ravens are still fighting to get in. They said if Josh Allen does not win the playoffs this year, that it'll be the biggest indictment on him. Or even if Lamar Jackson gets in, it's going to be the biggest indictment on them. And I have a problem with that. And
well,
let me tell you why I really have a huge problem with that. Because my thing is, I'm not trying to be a Josh Allen defender, because or even a Lamar Jackson defender. I understand that they have not made a Super Bowl. I understand that they both have not, but sometimes, you just run into a better team, and because I feel as though we become so quarterback centric when it comes to talking about NFL and NFL discourse and all that. We become so quarterback centric, we just forget that there's an entire team around a quarterback. Because honestly, how good are the Ravens, as a team? It's not just about how good Lamar Jackson is going to be. It's also how good is the team going to be. Because I don't care how great a quarterback is. If he doesn't have a good team around him, he's not going to win. Like, we've seen this with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Yeah, they won that one championship that in 2010. And Aaron Rodgers has been fighting to get back to a Super Bowl ever since. Crazy talented as Aaron Rodgers is, probably the greatest quarterback talent we have ever seen. And a lot of people are about to say Patrick Mahomes. Yes, but in my opinion, the greatest quarterback talent we have ever seen is still Aaron Rodgers to this day. All right, and y'all have not seen prime Aaron Rodgers. That's why y'all saying Patrick Mahomes. But anyway, but if a guy like that, till this day, has not been back to a Super Bowl, how talented Aaron Rodgers is, shouldn't that speak more volumes of how great the teams are that he has faced and how great the competition is and how hard it is to actually get to the Super Bowl? I understand we see dynasties like the Patriots and dynasties like the Chiefs, and think that's easy. Oh, it's easy. If they can do it, that means every other quarterback can do it. No, that's why you have dynasties. It's not just about the quarterbacks they have. It's about the quarterbacks, the coaches, their teammates. Like, it's about a lot. So
but look at who we're talking about. Look at these teams that these people have to face. Like, we're talking about, obviously you got Patrick Mahomes, who's been winning all the Super Bowls, if not most of the Super Bowls. And then you have the other two who are expected to win, and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, but they can't get past Patrick Mahomes. So,
true.
And then you have the NFC, right? So if that is the case, and Patrick Mahomes, the hurdle is no longer there. Now you're expecting one of these two teams to then finally make it. Now, in this case, in the scenario of this year, the Ravens have looked up and down. So I don't know if anybody is expecting them to win a Super Bowl, but if they do, I don't think anybody is going to be super shocked, right? But the Bills have the same team. They're still good. Ain't nothing wrong with them. They're not up and down. So they look like they would have a better shot this year at winning the Super Bowl than the Ravens do. Though we have the better quarterback.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So, yeah, I mean, I think I wouldn't go so extreme to say an indictment, but it would be like, dang, how did one of you two guys not win? Or if not both meet in the AFC Championship game. You know what I'm saying? If your only hurdle is Patrick Mahomes and he's not here. That's how I feel. And then you got the NFC. So whoever come out of there is obviously got to be in the Super Bowl.
Well, we'll definitely see. And I just want to add some realism to, because people just think, oh, like you said, Patrick Mahomes is gone. That's your only obstacle. So y'all got to make it like, let's really think about it. Let's really think how good the actual Bills and Ravens actually are, like their teams. Not just look at the quarterback, but actually look at their teams. All right, how they're constructed. Because they're not. Yeah, because there's a lot I could say. Once again, especially with the Bills and how really all they have is Josh Allen and James Cook, and outside of that, really who they have, like how their defense isn't as good as you really think it is, and they don't really have any consistent wide receiver help at the receiver position. Then once again, you have your Ravens. y'all defense is still suspect to me. And once again, y'all don't have an actual true number one wide receiver. Even though you think it should be Zay Flowers, it's not. But yeah, outside of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, who do you have really consistently for you? So yeah, that is. I just want people to actually start thinking about those things. But moving on. So, KJ, what about these other eliminated teams that also got eliminated other than the Chiefs? I know the Chiefs is the biggest thing, and because like I said, Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs dynasty, all that good crap. But what about these other eliminated teams?
Well, you know me, my teams like to be a legend killer. So outside of the Chiefs being eliminated, the Bengals are also eliminated. Y'all welcome. Skunked 24-0 and eliminated in your own house with your own quarterback against mine. Yeah, let's go ahead and the quarterback rankings. We putting Joe Burrow wherever y'all have him. You're having Joe Burrow under Lamar Jackson. Thank you. Next we have your Commanders eliminated.
Of course.
Then you got teams like Minnesota, Atlanta, Arizona, New Orleans, Miami, the Jets, Cleveland, Tennessee, Vegas, and then the Giants. So things are starting to shake out a little bit for these contenders, man.
And now that we've mentioned the eliminated teams, what about these teams that are still in contention? Now, the team in contention, well, actually, right now they're in the playoffs, that I'm not surprised that they are the Texans. A lot of people counted them out.
Ooh, they did.
A lot of people counted them out. I think on this podcast, I'm trying to remember. I think I was one of the few people that are like, they still got a shot. Because it looked like the Colts, first of all, it looked like the Colts were going to run away with it. And then people were going to say, well, Daniel Jones got hurt. The bottom was falling out before that happened. It's just that Daniel Jones' injury kind of expedited it. But yeah, it was. Yeah, the Colts because we mentioned how the Colts were now getting into the tougher part of their schedule, and we were like, listen. Like, yeah, they faced it. Yeah, they started like 7-1. They were all good. They were all the raging. But we talked about how we've seen this before and how they were getting into the tougher part of their schedule. How they might lose a couple more games. And guess what happened? They lose the They got into the tougher part of their schedule. They lose a lot more games. Oh, and now look. Now the Jaguars are leading the division.
Crazy.
At 10-4, mind you, which I once again, other teams, Jaguars have also impressed me these last couple of weeks because I've mentioned on this podcast how they were like the ultimate Jekyll and Hyde team, how we didn't know what we were going to get, and now it's looking like they're getting more consistency, specifically out of Trevor Lawrence, who had his best game as a pro, albeit against the Jets. I understand, but still. It's still the best game he's played. He is looking more and more consistent. He's looking more and more like the number one overall pick and generational talent that a lot of us pegged that he was going to be in the 2021 draft. Or 2021 draft. Sorry. Yeah, 2021. So, what about these other teams in contention, KJ, that you want to mention?
First of all, let's look into the AFC North. It's still wide open. The only team that's eliminated is Minnesota. Detroit has some very important games coming up. Green Bay and Chicago. First of all, I'm surprised that Chicago is number one in the division. I really did not believe in them this year. I think they have 10 wins. They have 10 wins. I thought they were going to get 10 wins all season. At the very most, they might get 11. They might get 12. They can mess around and get 13. I don't think that's going to happen because they still have to play the Packers. They have to play the Niners and they got to play the Lions. So we'll see if they end up getting the number one. The number one. First of all, because they're kind of in number one seed contention too. So we'll see
True.
where they fall in this lineup. But Green Bay, though they started getting more healthier at wide receiver and healthier all around their team, now that has all fallen apart because not only did they lose their best offensive lineman for some good a time. I think Christian Watkins has a shoulder injury, and on top of that, Michael Parsons tore his ACL. So even if they win that division, it's like, okay, they got a lot more hurdles to get over than I feel like a couple of other teams in that conference.
So you do. So there might be a possibility of them basically kind of losing out, and creates a spot for the Lions to
Ooh.
sneak them and catch them. Do you think that might happen?
Because they have to, so they're at the Bears, hosting the Ravens, and then at Minnesota. Just because Minnesota is eliminated does not mean that they are not going to try to play spoiler. You know, divisional rivals love to play spoiler every year, so I ain't gonna count that game
Definitely.
out. Especially if they have another injury. Like, dang,
So yeah, we might. There's a good chance that they might just lose out, and once again creates a space open for the Lions to sneak up in. What about now? Now I know Cowgirls fans are gonna say we're still in contention. Listen, Cowgirls fans, I want you to keep having that hope. I'm not gonna dim your light right now. I want you to keep on having that hope. But I need y'all to understand, for y'all to get into the playoffs, because you're mathematically not out of it. You're right. You're mathematically not out of it. But for you all to get into the playoffs, you'd have to beat my Commanders, which I'm gonna admit we're tanking the rest of the season, so it's okay. We're tanking. But you also gotta hope that we beat the Eagles not just once, but twice. I'm not even sure we can beat them once.
could y'all?
No.
I mean, I was
No,
almost gonna say
we're
it's
not
the
going to
Eagles,
beat the
but
Eagles. Are most likely going to sweep us and beat us both times by like 30 plus. I'm fine with that. Like I said, our goals. You saw we shut down James Downs for the rest of the season, which we should have done after the Seahawks game, but we're not here to mention any of that. But you see, we're shutting down James Downs finally for the rest of the season. So we're taking this rest of the season. We're saying, hey, we're kicking this season. We're focusing on 2026. So. Nah, we're not gonna. You gotta hope we beat the Eagles twice, man. Twice. That's what the Cowgirls. That's what you all need us to do. Y'all need us to beat the Eagles twice. That's not going to happen. All right, I say this as a proud commander. That's not going to happen. We're not going to beat them once. All right. So, Cowgirls, but I'll let you have that dream, Cowgirls fans. I'll let you have that dream. Just keep on believing. All right, keep that belief up. All right, and then when the inevitable happens, and I'm laughing in your face, just know you heard it here. Okay, but it's okay. But trying to see these other teams in contention. KJ, what about these other teams? Also, do I think the Bills? No, I don't think the Bills are going to win the AFC East. Who do you think is going to be the number one seed in the AFC and the NFC? KJ, that's a good question.
That is a great question. Off rip, I was just gonna say New England, but the Broncos, I believe, have them by a game.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really has an easy schedule going forward. I mean,
The
the
NFL made
Patriots
it
got to
that
play
way.
the Jets and the Dolphins, bro. I mean, versus the Broncos, I'm not sure who they play, but I'm pretty sure their schedule is much harder than that. But they are a game ahead of them. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Patriots.
Yeah, they got to face
Um,
the Chargers. They got their next 3 games are the Jaguars, Chiefs, and Chargers. Now the Chiefs game's a lot more easier now than it was like 2 weeks ago. Okay,
yeah, and
because
you are playing two
no
like
patch.
Jekyll and Hyde teams too, so I don't know. But as far as the NFC, I would definitely say you got to go with the Rams. Who else? Come on, Matt Staff. Come on, take it on home. Take it on home. Let's see who they got. They got to play the Seahawks. They got to play Atlanta and the Cardinals. I'm
The
not gonna say
winner
nothing about
of
the
this
Atlanta
Thursday.
game because y'all know how that goes. But every time we pick Atlanta team, an Atlanta game. But go ahead. The winner of the Cardinals.
Yeah, would you say the winner of this Thursday night game that we're getting ready and predicted not too long ago will basically be the number 1 seed? Because in my opinion, I think that will be the decider. Because really, at this point in the NFC, I don't know who's going to be the number 1 seed, but in the AFC,
It's not going to be
I
the
feel
Eagles.
I feel pretty I feel pretty confident it's going to be the Broncos. This is going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. I feel confident in saying that. So, but yes. But we'll just find out. We'll just have to find out in these last few weeks. Speaking of these last few weeks, we have our weekly pick 6. We got 6 games up on the docket for this coming week in the NFL. Week 15. No, sorry. Week 16. Week 15 was last week. Week 16 in the NFL. And we're going to begin with that Thursday night game that I just talked about. This one is going to decide, honestly, this one is going to decide who's going to be not just who's going to win the NFC West. Because remember, they haven't even, neither team has clinched that yet either. All right. That's how tough the NFC West is this season outside of the Cardinals. But, so we've got the Rams at the Seahawks. Who, KJ, wins tomorrow night's game?
First of all, the Seahawks couldn't even beat a 72-year-old grandfather coming off his couch. Well, could they beat them, but they could barely beat him. Matt Stafford might be like 64, but he ain't coming off his couch. I'm going with Matt Stafford. Y'all know how I rock.
And I'm going with the Seahawks, baby. Hey, they're at home. They know what is on the line here. Once again, not just the division crown, but also the number 1 seed is out. It's on the line right here. I think the 12s are going to really show out for them. They're going to really give the Seahawks what they need to win this game. Give me the Seahawks in a close one, 27-24. The next game is the Sunday night game. We got the Patriots at the Ravens. KJ, who you got?
I'll tell you what I have. I have fear. I have fear because dang, we need to win. I mean, we don't. I necessarily don't believe we need to win out, but it would be helpful if we just win out because I don't want to. I don't want to play the Steelers. And first of all, if we play the Steelers at the end of the season and we are a game under them, that game don't matter because even if we beat them and we tie, they got the tiebreaker because the NFL. I ain't gonna keep it 10 souls. I'm gonna keep it hopeful. Come on, Ravens. Come on, Ravens. And we at the bank, man. We can't have two blunders in a row at the bank. We gotta show some toughness.
Give me. Give me the more desperate team in the Ravens. The Ravens are at home. They're the desperate team. Usually in this situation, when a team needs to win, and they're a desperate team, and they're fighting for their playoff lives. Because we saw them come up big against the Bengals, and they would. I was afraid for y'all in this past week's game against the Bengals, and I didn't see that 26-0 ass whooping coming. But that's what happens when a team is. Exactly when a team is desperate and they know they need to win. And so give me the Ravens in a semi kind of close one, 24-17. The next game is a Monday night game. We got the 49ers at the Colts, led by the old man himself, Phillip Rivers. Great to see. Who you got, KJ?
Come on, let's be real. Now, for the Colts, I understand they have Phillip Rivers, and this is a nice, heartfelt moment. We know that Jonathan Taylor is the offense. He is now the quarterback that does not pass the ball. You dig what I'm saying? The 49ers are still fine. They still good, to use colloquially. And I just don't foresee Indianapolis beating the 49ers, even at home, because Brock Purdy is out here running on teams and pump faking the ball in the defense's face. Like, ha, you can't touch me. What? They're having fun. Give me the fun team. The 49ers.
We mentioned about teams that possibly can beat the number one seed. I can't believe I failed to mention the 49ers, and they're a team that definitely can. And this is probably the most dangerous team in the NFC. Actually, no, this is probably the most dangerous team in the whole National Football League because, listen, we've mentioned many times on this podcast how they always have years where they get hurt, then they miraculously get well, and everybody plays well. And, they make it to the either conference championship game or the Super Bowl. This looks like one of those years. Also, why isn't Christian McCaffrey getting no MVP votes? Like I understand. I understand it's all about the quarterbacks and all that stuff. I understand, but
I ain't gonna lie. If that was the case, I might give it to Mount. Go ahead.
I was gonna say timeout. The 49ers have had a lot of injuries this season, just like they did last season, and in seasons prior under Kyle Shanahan. But they have been able to survive it. I don't think that's not just Mac Jones playing well in the absence of Brock Purdy. It's also been Christian McCaffrey, who's been the one consistent player for the 49ers that have been healthy this whole season. It's been Christian McCaffrey. Why isn't he getting more MVP hype? Because honestly, because the team is in third place in the division, but that's kind of not their fault. A little bit. It's not their fault that the Seattle and Rams are 11-3. They're sitting at 10-4. If they were in the NFC East, they'd be leading by a couple games. But anyway, let's get back to prediction. Give me the 49ers, 26-9, whooping up because I don't see there. We know the Colts are going to run the ball, and that's what they're mainly want to do. I think the 49ers defense back under Robert Saleh is going to be like, listen, we're going to load up on a run, and we're going to force this old man to actually beat us throwing the football. All right, and yeah, I don't think it's gonna once again. Yeah, give me the 49ers, 26-9. Yeah, I'm predicting an ass whooping. The next game we're gonna predict is a matchup in the NFC North. Honestly, the winner of this game wins the NFC North, in my opinion. The Packers at the Bears. KJ, who you got?
I'm telling you, after all these injuries, I think I'm going with the Bears. As hot as the Packers are, they're key injuries to key positions that might derail their momentum a little bit. I think the Bears are still trudging forward, And therefore I'm going to pick them because ain't they at home still? Yeah.
That Broncos game that the Packers had, not only did they lose the game, they just feel like they lost a lot more than that. And because of that, give me the Bears. Give me the Bears. 28-21. And I still think it's going to be a pretty good game because division rivals always play each other close. So, but yeah, I still think the Bears pull this one out. The only way the only way the Bears lose this game is if like they just completely like ish the bed. The next game we're going to predict is the Jaguars, the London Jaguars. I'm sorry, Jacksonville, London, at the Broncos. KJ, who you got?
Oh, definitely the Broncos. I think that the Jaguars, like you said, are a Jekyll and Hyde team. They are definitely Jekyling right now. um, but I don't tend to side with inconsistency. So I'm going to go with the more consistent, more experienced Broncos. Yeah. But it's going to be a great game. I think that's probably going to be a sneakily game of the week type energy.
Yep. I don't think it's going to be a game of the week type thing. I think it's going to be a game where the Broncos show you, hey, we're finna whoop some ass. I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win by double digits. That defense, I still believe in that Broncos defense. So yeah, give me the Broncos 27-13. Especially also let you know, little known fact. Well, no, not a little known fact, but known fact. Broncos are undefeated at home this season. I think that stays the same. 27-13. Give me the Broncos. The last game we're going to predict. This is the game of the week. This is the game of the week, people. A matchup in the NFC South. We've got Baker Mayfield and the Bucks versus QB1 himself, Bryce Young and the Panthers. My co-host don't like it when I call Bryce Young QB1, but he's gonna accept it. Who you got, KJ?
Give me Carolina at home, man. Give me Carolina at home. Every time I think Carolina is still trash, they always find a way to surprise me. They also are very up and down, meaning they win a game and then they lose a game and then they win a game and they lose a game. If you follow that trend, it's looking like, because I think we just lost to the Saints, wrongfully lost to the Saints. I will add, but we're 7-7 for a reason. And if you follow that trend, looking like we're due for a win, baby, and we're at home. But the thing that scares me is Mike Evans is back, and even in his first game back, he got like 130-something yards. So, put him on the scouting report, and let's hope for the best. Keep pounding, baby.
Even though Bryce Young is QB1, give me Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Though for some reason I feel like this game is going to be relatively low scoring. Or in some people maybe be surprisingly low scoring. So yeah, give me the Bucks winning 20-17. But that's all for the NFL. I know my co-host here is hoping that both his Panthers and Ravens find a way to make it into the playoffs. He would have never thought like this late in the season that both teams would have the same record.
Nah, I would have never thought that. I did tell y'all that I thought Carolina would be second in the division, but so that's kind of shocking me. But the Ravens being 7-7, what is that? What universe am I living in? Somebody wake me up.
So you were right about your Panthers, maybe wrong about the Ravens. But either way. Let's talk about some college football. And no, not the college football that that complains and whines and doesn't play in their bowl game. Shout out to Notre Dame. No, y'all didn't make the playoffs because y'all are not part of a freaking conference. All right, yes, I said it, Notre Dame fans. All right, whine, complain, bitch, moan. It doesn't matter. You're not in the playoffs and you're not in the conference. That's what you. But anyway, join the conference. But anyway, preferably the Big Ten, because honestly, it would just make a lot more sense for Notre Dame to be in the Big Ten. But anyway, big weekend in college football because the college football first round matchups in the playoffs are happening. This Friday night, we got Alabama going to Oklahoma. Then on Saturday, we got Miami versus Texas A&M. Then we got the Tulane versus Ole Miss. And then we got James Madison versus Oregon. I have already told y'all I feel like an upset is happening. I feel like Tulane is going to upset Ole Miss. I just have this feeling. I do not know why. I just have it. But
is secretly trash.
Well, no, it's just that I understand they lost.
Okay.
They're not secretly trash. They just lost their head coach and all their offensive staff.
They're trash. Nah, go ahead.
No, it's because Lane Kiffin, and like, who would? Sorry. I don't want to get off on a tangent right now, so I'll save that for another podcast of why should a college kid team ever trust Lane Kiffin ever? Because I mean, his track record speaks for himself. But anyway, the one I'm most excited for though to watch is Oklahoma versus Bama, because this one I don't know who's going to win. Now I understand Oklahoma beat Bama early on in the season, but you know in football, we've seen it many times in football where the team that won the first time, they don't really win the second time around. So, except when we were talking about last year in UGA in Texas, that was an ass whooping most times. But anyway, but yeah, honestly, we've seen it this season when Alabama beat Georgia, and then they turned around in the conference championship game and got their ass beat by UGA. So that one is the most interesting one for me. What about you, KJ? Which one of these matchups is the most interesting for you?
Well, I don't know about y'all, but all of my focus and attention is on the Big Ten versus the SEC.
Of course.
Bump the playoffs at this point because Michigan ain't in there. But
it's time to be good enough.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like these games are a little something to keep your eye on as well, because speaking of Michigan, the first game on the docket, you got the Citrus Bowl, Michigan versus Texas. I'm gonna watch that. I would watch that if I wasn't a fan of either one of them teams. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
that sounds like a very good game.
Yeah, it does. Because
and it
Texas
also
is gonna be
sounds
mad
like a very good. Say again.
I was like, Texas is going to be mad because, they're going to feel like, hey, we deserve to be in the playoffs because Texas, we beat Texas A&M. But anyway.
No, for real. For real. And it's crazy how, it's crazy how A&M is in the playoffs and Texas is not. I should have played better. Anyways, look, I'm saying that. Wow, we gotta play Texas. We should have played better. If we had beat Ohio State, we would have, but we wasn't gonna beat Ohio State this year. But yeah, so I was gonna say Michigan and Texas is a very good benchmark for both teams and both quarterbacks because this is Bryce Underwood's obviously he's not he's a freshman, true freshman at that. You know what I'm saying? So this will be a very nice cap to see what he has learned in his progression over the season. And as far as Arch Manning, I mean, are you trying to come back to college next year? Or are you trying to go to the NFL? If you trying to go to the NFL, you got to show something this game. You know what I'm saying?
I think I saw that he actually was coming back for this next year. I think I saw something that said that
I like to see that. I like to see that. But yeah, you got other Big Ten versus SEC. Sure. You got the Music City Bowl with Tennessee versus Illinois. Come on, fighting the Illini. And then you got the ReliaQuest Bowl with Iowa and Vandy. Now, there is no way in Sam Hill that Iowa is about to win this game, but still, go Hawkeyes.
I was right. Yeah, he's returning. Arch Manning is returning for the 2026 season into Texas.
For sure.
Sorry, I just looked at it.
Honestly, one of the bowls that I kind of, this is not a bowl that I'm looking at, but I'm looking at the name, right? You have the Tony the Tiger Bowl in Arizona State, and Duke is playing, right? I don't know how Duke. Yep. Anyways,
the ACC champion Duke.
I don't know how. Anyways, because Miami isn't the playoff, but anyways. You got Arizona State versus Duke. If this is the Tony the Tiger Bowl, this should be the inaugural LSU versus Clemson Bowl. Why do you not have two of the most prominent Tiger teams not playing for Tony the Tiger Bowl? That's just my thought.
That is true. That actually,
because I feel like as long as LSU and Clemson are not in the playoff, and they're getting the next set of bowl games, give them that one.
Or remember, you also have the Auburn Tigers too. You have the Auburn Tigers.
Okay, so the best two of three of those played in Tony. But ain't damn worry about them dang Auburn. But you're right. You're absolutely right. I forgot about them.
All I gotta say is,
as far as these,
let's go Big Ten.
Yeah.
And my Penn State Nittany Lions are going against Clemson in the I want to say Citrus Bowl.
Pinstripe Bowl, because we played the Citrus Bowl.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. My fault about the Pinstripe Bowl. I was like, we're gonna lose that game, but I just hope we don't. Hopefully, we send our interim coach out a winner. I mean, we won the last 3 games to squeeze into bowl eligibility, which I'm happy for. I just hope we send our interim head coach out a winner. That's all I'm hoping. Just send him out a winner. That's all. He deserves it. All right. Also, once again, mark my words. Either Tulane or James Madison there's going to be an upset. I'm just saying. But let's go ahead and wrap this podcast up like we always do with our last second shoutouts. So, KJ, who in the sports world do you have to shout out?
I want to go ahead and shout out our beloved Elle Duncan on ESPN. She's leaving ESPN. Oh man, I saw her last show. Unexpectedly. I saw her last show last night, and she gave a real heartfelt speech, man. And I was like, dang, not Elle Duncan. All of my Sports Center heroes are leaving from my childhood. Like, what is going on? So yeah, for Elle Duncan, go Bulldogs, go Broncos. That's what she said before she got off the stage, before she got off the show.
Well, salute to her. Well, my shout out goes to Cooper Flagg. He is the youngest player to score 40 points, only 18 years old. A lot of people were saying, oh, he early on were saying, hey, he looked like a bust. Like they always do. People always overreact. We're always in the overreaction business instead of just, hey, let's wait till this guy actually starts getting a couple of basketball dribbles under his belt, and then let's decide, okay? But anyway, yes, shout out to you, Cooper Flagg. Even though the league rigged you to join the Mavericks, it is great to see you. Great to see you scoring 42 points. It was 42, 8, and 5, I think. Just
crazy.
Give it to him. But I think they still lost the game. But still, Cooper Flagg, you definitely belong in this league. I mean, this guy was giving Team USA last year just absolute hell, during the practices. Yeah. So of course he was going to succeed in the league. If he was given the best of the NBA, absolute hell. Oh yeah, he's gonna be all right. But shout out to you, Cooper Flagg. But that's all the time we have, folks. You've now tuned in to MC Ron and his co-host.
You got Zen on Ken.
And we are keeping it 10 toes down. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be on the podcast and talk your sports stuff with the best in the business, that is me and my co-host KJ. All you have to do is one of two things. Either send an email to keepingit10toesdown@gmail.com. That is keepingit10toesdown@gmail.com. Or send us a direct message on Instagram. That's at Keeping It 10 Toes. That's at Keeping It 10 Toes. I'm so excited for the college football playoff. I'm really excited for these matchups. I'm really excited to see an upset. I'm even excited to see this Big Ten versus SEC bowl games, because I just want to say once and for all, the Big Ten is the best conference in America. But you might not get a podcast next week because MC Ron's going to be all in the North Carolina. No, but
don't be cutting up in my state now.
But yes,
hey,
it's in my grandma's state. In my grandma's state, so it's all right. But y'all have a great day, a great night, and enjoy the college football playoff and week 16 of the NFL.
The sun is under my feet and I come in peace to compete. I don't run if you athlete. My statistics go up in weeks and I go visit the nearest creek and I get busy. Yo, mini MC really ballistic. Anybody can see any assistance. Everybody to see some persistence. Breaking out some be really too vicious. The permanent beast and the demolition. Breaking up the street. Better partition. Better dot your T. Hannibal mention. Out of all you see. Putting my dick in the rap industry. Everybody bitching. Getting mad at me. Breaking out Kendrick in a battery. And I'm charged up in a catastrophe. It's charged up in hard audacity. Y'all fucks never gonna hassle me and y'all luck.